Hi, Tony here and welcome to the channel. Now, when it comes to smartphone navigation apps, there are lots on the marketplace that you can choose from. Some of them are very good, some of them not so much. But for a little while now, I've been trying out this app, Rever, to see how it stacks up. It's the usual kind of navigation app that you'd expect, with functions to allow you to create routes or track rides amongst other things, but it's also backed up by a very functional desktop site which makes things easier when you're planning longer or more complex routes. Of course, you can let the app find a route for you, and there's lots of control over the criteria for that route, so you can avoid motorways, you can avoid toll roads, or if you want to do a little bit of exploring, you can set it to find the twistiest route possible. I tend to plan on the phone when I just want a quick ride, or if I just want the most straightforward instructions to get to my particular location. If I'm doing anything more complex, or I want more control over the route in terms of where it goes, maybe some of the smaller lanes and avoiding some particular areas, then I'll just switch to the desktop. It's got some interesting little features too as well, so you can have an animated display of your ride once you've completed it, and you can do that in 3D as well, and it gives you the opportunity to share that not only within the own Rever app and that community, and we'll touch on that in a second, but also if you want to share it onto social media. There is a community element to the app as well, where you can share rides and join different groups, and I think this also has an excellent opportunity for a group of friends to be able to plan their own rides and then share them within their group, all in one central hub. All this functionality is great, but the real question is how does it work out on the road in the real world? To find out, I'm going to plan a route and then I'm going to go and test it to see how accurate the instructions are and how easy it is to follow. Okay, so I'm in the desktop application and the planning page. I'll put my starting location in, which I'll select as Kings Lane, Braintree. It will find that on the map and drop a marker pin. If I want to change that starting point, I can just grab that pin and move it to anywhere else on the map. And that's my first point, and then I can select the location that I want to ride to. In this case it's Shotley Marina over in near Ipswich. It will find that location and automatically plot the quickest route, but that's not the one I want to take, so I can tag the twisty route on the panel on the left hand side, and it will calculate that route, show me the waypoints, the distance, everything else. You can now see the complete route, but what I have the option to do now is to go into that route in greater detail and change it if there's any particular areas that I want to go to by adding waypoints, or if I just want to change the actual roads that I'm taking as part of that route. The simplest way to do that is just to grab the line with a click of the mouse and drag it across onto the road that you want to use. It then adds a waypoint to that particular change, but as I say, you can delete that waypoint if you want to. And then you can just go through the rest of the route, making any amendments that you want. So for example, I've got a section here that drags me onto the A12. I don't want to ride on this, I want something more interesting, so I just grab the route, take it to a point on the map where I think it looks interesting, and it will recalculate it. Once you finish your amendments, if you click on the continue button, it brings up another screen which enables you to name the ride and put any of the details in you want, and this is where you have the option to be able to save that or share it or both. The route is saved on your list of previous rides. You can click the button to make it a favorite. If you click on the list again, you can look at it in closer detail. It shows the elevation changes, timings, and all of the waypoints along the way. So now that's done, let's get on and ride it.
Okay, so you've seen me plan the route online. I've got that in here as a ride. I've saved it as a favourite as well, and the reason I've saved it for a favourite, and one of the tricks that Rever has up its sleeves, is not only can it be used as an app on the phone, it's also compatible with Apple CarPlay and the Android version as well, I believe. So that's why I'm on the Africa Twin today, to give you a demonstration of it working on both. So I've got this set up, I've got my Apple CarPlay all connected. There's the map, I've got Rever open, there's the ride that we're doing today. Saved it as a favourite, so if I touch the screen here, hit the heart, I've got my favourite, so it gives me the ride. I've got the option to display the route on the map or get turn by turn directions. It will then go off and find where the route is that I've got to get to, and it's telling me that I want to go, this is Kings Lane, up in that direction. What I like about this is obviously if you get alerts, text alerts and social media alerts and stuff that you get on your phone, it doesn't interrupt what's going on the screen up here. So I won't take you on the entire journey because I've got a twisty route up to Shotley Marina, which will take about 2 hours. And what I thought I'd do is just show you some of the route as we go along, and you'll get to see what's going on here. So let's get this baby started. Just taking a little bit of time to sort itself out in terms of which direction we're going, and I've now got a really nice clear display. That's one thing I like about the display on this Africa Twin, is that you can use the whole of that display for your map, whilst at the same time I've still got my speed and my mode displayed on the digital display at the bottom. I can flick back backwards and forwards between that display, and I think if I go backwards on there I can have that split, so I've still got, if I want media I can still see that on the right hand side, and I've got the map there as well. I found the app to be very accurate. The countdown to turnings and stuff is really good. You get plenty of notice of that. The audio instructions are good as well. Unfortunately, obviously you can't hear the audio instructions. I've just got a microphone plugged into my GoPro for this footage, but I've got my Ultimate Ear Bluetooth earpieces in, so I get really good audio, and you get good directions. You get them in plenty of time. They're really clear. So this is kind of the route that we're going to be taking all of the way. I'll stop off maybe at a few spots along the way, but I'm not going to enjoy you to 2 hours of riding. But of all the apps that I've tried quite a few different apps. What I like about Rever is that flexibility. So if you want to just get your quickest route, then you can do that. And I've used Waze as an example. Waze you can use on Apple CarPlay as well, which is really good. But the problem with Waze is you don't have the ability to tailor that route particularly. It just does the most efficient route to get to where you're going. What I like about this is even from the app you can get it to do a twisty route. You can export it as a GPX, so if you plan a route and you want to share that with people and they're using different devices, you can do that as well. There's a tie-in with Rever and Butler Maps as well. That opens up a whole new world of routes that are pre-planned or roads that are graded in particular ways. Predominantly I guess it's a North American thing. Here's an option there. You do have to be careful when you're planning the route that you check the route over, because it was trying to take us on a little route around and back onto the road. That's purely because I let the algorithm do its thing and then didn't go into the map in close enough detail to double check it, which is always worth doing, because obviously it's trying to find a twisty route. If it finds a road that it thinks it would be make it more twisty, it's going to take you down that route. So it's important when you set the route is to go back and look at the route and check through for that. Things like that are really easy to spot. You can see that that was just like a loop that was going nowhere, so it's fair enough that I should ignore that. Some of them are not quite so obvious. So the one piece of feedback I would have about this is I've found some really interesting rides and some places right on my doorstep that maybe I wouldn't normally see. It does pick really interesting roads to ride down. So I've had this little lane that's been going for several miles now through the forest back there, and opening out a little bit now. Maybe not quite so scenic with the massive power lines, but you really do find some really cool places. I'll stop blathering on, I'll get some more of this journey done, and then I'll come back to you a bit later on. See ya. No worries.
Yeah, it's a nice motorbike.
Thank you.
An African Twin. Very nice.
Yeah, it's really comfy. Maybe not as comfy as those.
Thank you for being so kind.
That's okay, no worries.
Good girl.
Have a good day.
Thanks ever so much.
See you later. Woo! So sometimes you'll find that if you set a favourite and you don't start from the beginning and you're following the route, it will keep trying to take you back onto the original route or take you back to the start route. So that's one thing to be careful of. This is one point that I wanted to stop on the route, not because it's a particular place of interest, but just because I'm childish and I found this whilst I was planning the route, and you can see the lane that I'm parked in at the moment. Sadly, there's no road signs. I suspect that they keep getting stolen. But yeah, this is Burnt Dick Hill. Anyway, I'm going to carry on. I'll stop recording now just to save my battery, although I have got spares, and I'll give you an update when we get to the final location. The sun's come out again, which is really nice. I'm a short distance from my destination, a couple of miles. Generally I find this is a really good system. If you want to use a phone and you don't want to go down a dedicated sat-nav route, then I think there's obviously loads out there to choose from, but I think Rever works well because you've got that sort of straightforward route planning. If you just want to start your phone up and say I'm here, go here, plan a route, do that. But if you want to make that a twisty route, then you can do that as well. There's a pro version, so there's a paid version which gets you extra features, and again I'll talk about that later on when we look at what you get for your money. Or you can download it, use it as a free app. Anybody who saw my Tony's Tiny Tours HMS Ganges, that's the site there. That's the site there on the left, huge site. You can probably see the, I'm just going out of shot if we get through there. You can see the rigging in the background there, and they're slowly clearing that site away. But if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the top corner of the screen. You can go away and have a look at that. Here we are, we're now just arriving down at Shotley Gate. I won't go all the way to the marina. As I say, I've got a friend that's got a weekend flat down here, so I'm going to go and say hello to him and have a cup of tea. So this will do me very nicely. And there we have it. And as they say in TUE land, back to you in the studio.
So there we have it, just a quick overview really of the Rever app. I just wanted to cover off the fact that it can be used on the phone, and you also have the option to plan your routes on the desktop service, and I thought I'd show you how to do a little bit of the route planning on there. And then obviously the bulk of the video was just showing it in action with a little bit of moto vlogging to go along with it. I mentioned pricing earlier on, but of course you can use this app for free. The only caveat is, as with most of these things, is you get some of the functionality removed if you're on the free version. Now, I couldn't stick everything in my head as to what you get and what you don't get, so I'll put the graphics on the screen. For me, I think the Pro is a worthy investment because of the functionality you get for that, for what is a relatively low cost per month. Then I think that's worth the upgrade. If you're living outside the US, I'm not so sure that the membership, the RPM, is actually kind of worth doing, because a lot of the discounts and features are very much US based. So I'd probably write that one off. Obviously, if you do upgrade, if you pay monthly, then you can cancel that at any time and go back to the free version. So I hope you found this useful. If you've got any questions about the app, then ask them in the comment section down below, and I'll see if I can help you out with an answer to those. If you like the video, hitting that like button is really appreciated, and what's more appreciated is you hitting the subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't done so already, and I will love you forever. So until next time, again, thanks for watching. Take care, ride safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.